Hi everyone, this is my reading for October 2015 for Aries. How will the month of October go for Aries? Well, let's find out. First though, a quick announcement. I want to thank all of you for your views, for your shares, and for your likes for these series of YouTube videos I've been making. And I want to let you know that I've been inspired to set up a Patreon page. So, for those of you who found these readings useful to you, who've been helped by my tarot readings, well, if you're in a position to, consider checking out my Patreon page and leaving me a tip. Now, let's see what the cards have to say about October for Aries. How will the month of October 2015 go for Aries? How will the month of October 2015 go for Aries? October 2015, how will it go for Aries? Interesting. Lots of royalty in this one. So, at the center of the reading here, we have the King of Wands. The King of Wands represents an individual who commands authority in the world and rules over not just his local group, the people around him, but the great wider world in general. A truly powerful figure. And Wands is the suit of dynamism, of creating new things, of change, of growth. And so the King of Wands is a person who goes out into the world and commands that things change, who makes change in the world. Crossed by the King of Swords, all the same attributes of the king are there, ruling over the world, making changes and bringing order to the world in his own way. King of Swords brings the authority of ideas, knowledge, reason, and, in a way, justice. The King of Swords is like a cold, stern, but always fair judge who sees to the truth of the matter and makes sure that people get ultimately what they deserve, that the right thing happens, that the rational course of action is followed. And these two, crossed here in the center, point to a basic conflict. The central conflict of this reading. It's a conflict between, on the one hand, wanting to get out there and make changes, and what seems like a good idea. Oftentimes we see things in the world that bother us about our lives, about the people around us, about our family, the place where we work, our own business, our career. We see problems there, and we're torn. Do we fix it? Even though it might not be a good idea, even though it might cause more problems than it's worth. Will this change, which seems like a good idea, which seems like the right thing to do, will that change cause problems? Will it be worth it in the end? This is a fundamental human conflict. And that's what this is pointing to. And you've walked into this position was coming into this position largely following the path of reason. That's what I think the Queen of Swords wants to tell us here primarily. Less anything particular about the Queen per se, and more that up until now, this King of Swords was the dominant situation. Following the right course of action, doing the right thing, the rational course, the thing which in your head makes the most sense. But bubbling up in your heart has been a knowledge that there is change coming. That you can make change in the world. You can find something better. You can improve it. You know this, and you can't contain it anymore. This bubbling up of power, of energy from the Ace of Wands, it's bursting to get out there and start new things growing, to plant seeds of change everywhere throughout the world. And it's been killing you emotionally that this is not happening, that the King of Swords has been dominant, that reason has been guiding you. And it's led you to go looking elsewhere, to go out to different places to find that which will be emotionally fulfilling, when ultimately that might not be really where you need to be. So, once again, we got sword, sword, sword. More than their individual characteristics here, I think the swords here are pointing to the same thing. Your challenge here is the dominance of this rational idea, this rational mind, which oftentimes is a perfectly good thing. We all need reason. Around you, in the friends and family slot, we have here the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles represent in this particular card here, charity. Pentacles is wealth, money, status, politics, career, all these worldly things that make life possible. And so the Six is the card of charity. We have this figure paying out and these people receiving. And when this comes up in a reading, the Six can represent both sides. Either the person receiving charity in their time of need, or the generous individual giving when they have the opportunity to do so. And I wonder how much this is driving the feeling that now is the time. The people around you, the people in your family are prosperous. They're ready to give. They have that sort of margin of survival that we all need before we can start thinking about bigger matters. When we're pushed to the edge, when we're just barely getting along, it's hard to think about anything other than the most basic level of survival and getting by. But when we start getting more and being more comfortable, then we have the freedom to kind of relax a bit and start thinking about the world and helping people around us. And maybe that's, now that your family, the people around you have sort of gotten to that level, you've more and more and more been wanting to give back with this new idea, with this ability to change things fundamentally. And it's filling your mind, in a way, this hope that you can make a difference, this belief that your dynamism, your dynamic energy, unleashed, can really change things. The star here is your hope and fear, and primarily hope. So let's see. What are these last two cards we have here? We have the Six and Seven of Swords. It's interesting that they're the future, even though reason is in some ways being portrayed as the problem by the cards here. We have the Six here, which shows a person making a rational decision to go somewhere. Now, this can be literal. I know I've heard readings where this is interpreted as a card of travel. But I usually look at things from a much more metaphorical or symbolic perspective. And so what I always see with the Six is making a decision to do something new, to begin a new venture, to begin a new direction, to sort of change your course from here to there. And the Seven, well, the Seven here, we have a figure who's kind of sneaking away from this camp. He's got what he wanted. He's stealing away during the day with what he needs. You know, maybe he just feels he got a better bargain than he deserved. Maybe this was a perfectly legitimate transaction in which the figure came out really well, using his or her wits and reason to get the better of the people he was interacting with. Maybe this individual stole into the camp and snuck and took these things and is sneaking away in secret. We never know. But what's clear is that he got what he wanted. Let's throw another couple cards and see if we can put these in more perspective. We have here this conflict between reason and this bubbling dynamic energy which can't be contained any longer. We have here the knight looking to go out into the world to find that which is emotionally fulfilling. We have here the card of travel and getting what you need. Well, that's interesting. So we have the Lovers. We have the Five of Pentacles, abject poverty and suffering, but also the potential of relief nearby. And then the Two of Pentacles, a decision in the world. And so maybe this is pointing to, somewhat more literally than I usually like, this feeling that you need to go out and make change in the world in a literal way, going elsewhere to find that which you need and choosing a place where it seems most likely you can do the best good. You get what you need when you get there. Love, which we all need, but also a chance to really help those who are suffering and in poverty. But ultimately, the decision. Stay or go. Build here or build elsewhere. Come back to where you had been or stay. And so you're going to need to think about this one a little bit, Aries. What sense are you looking elsewhere for? What sense are you traveling out into the world for that which you want? Is it a new venture here? Is it actually going somewhere else? Whichever one it is, this energy shown by the ace cannot be contained forever. You've got too much and you need to share it, and the time is coming. Your reason that has served you well up until now is not the problem, but you need to figure out how to sort of tame it and convince yourself that this maybe is the right thing to do, because you know it is and you can't stop. And you're going to have a real chance to get some of what you need and to do good in the world, to make that change that you want. If you found this reading helpful and informative, check out my Patreon page and consider leaving me a tip. Also, be on the lookout. I'm going to be setting up a website soon for personal readings. Look for that announcement. Thanks for watching.